Hey guys, what's going on? So, I did wanted to talk about this announcement, and I want to first of all, I want to thank Nintendo, Shigeru Miyamoto, Aonuma, and anyone who was involved in making this remake a reality because I think it's important to be grateful that Nintendo did acknowledge the importance of Ocarina of Time and that it was worthwhile making another remake with this magnitude, like a brand new from the ground up remake with actually realistic graphics. And the purpose of this video is not really about the graphics or anything, because I could talk about it about that on another video. But first, I wanted to address something that it I believe it is important for the series, and especially Ocarina of Time. Okay, we can begin with this. Each entry on the series has evolved the design of the weapons, not just the design of Link, of the weapons. For example, the design of the Master Sword actually changed since Wind Waker. The Master Sword design on Wind Waker was different than Ocarina's. And what happens when this design changes? The identity. You can identify which weapon belongs to which game. To which game. So if you see the design of Wind Waker Master Sword, you can tell, oh, it is from this game, right? It is not from Ocarina of Time, for example. But if you see the design of the Master Sword of Ocarina of Time, you can identify it right away, right? Because the design is different. Okay. I mean, it is obvious that this design of the Master Sword comes from Breath of the Wild and its sequel, right? The same goes for the Hylian shield. So if you are mixing the weapons from Breath of the Wild's design with the Ocarina of Time game, you are losing the identity. Because first of all, this is the logo. I mean, that's really, and I think I don't want to sound like an ungrateful fan, because I'm grateful, and I really value Nintendo's decision to give some love to Ocarina of Time, and I'm really grateful to Aonuma Shigeru Miyamoto for giving Ocarina of Time a chance to make like a modern entry, right, in the series again. And I'm really grateful for that. But I do want to share my thoughts about some things that I don't agree, and I don't really agree on this, because I think the identity of each game needs to be respected, and you are losing the identity, and small details are sometimes what makes different the games from each other, and it gives some kind of faithfulness and some kind of care, you know, while making these games. And what I'm trying to say is that the identity of Ocarina of Time, it's so special since it came out. I mean, I don't know. I mean, probably some of the fans don't care, probably, but I do think it is important how the icons of Ocarina of Time are treated, right? Because this is the logo. This is the first thing that you see about Ocarina of Time, you know? When you see Ocarina of Time for the first time, you look at the sword and the shield, the designs, right? And that gets printed in your mind. And you immediately say, that's how Ocarina of Time looks. That's how the sword looks. That's how the Master Sword looks, right? That's what I'm saying, the identity. Because if you see this sword, this design, you're going to think about Breath of the Wild and its sequel, right? You're not going to think about Ocarina of Time. I mean, and this Healer Shield here, it's obviously Breath of the Wilds. I mean, you're you're losing the identity of Ocarina of Time because it is actually it does actually looks different. It's small details, but I don't, how do I say this? The small details are what makes it different, right? And the identity, the 19th identity of Ocarina of Time, it is on these weapons. Remember, these are Link's weapons. These are like the King Arthur's Excalibur. It's like a huge icon for Link. It is something important. And if you don't care about the design, you're losing the identity. And I don't agree on that. So here you can see the original design made for the Master Sword on Ocarina of Time and the shield too. And we can see below here better. We are going to compare the designs. So what's different? First of all, these details on the shield, the 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 pattern changes a little bit. It goes like this. And here it makes this hook. You go below and you go like that, you know? And here you go like this. And here you go the other way, right? So it is a different design, right? Um, let's see here. Here is like this. You go like that. Here it is the hook, and you go like this. You see? You see the difference? The different pattern? There you go. You see how it is more simplistic? You can see there. And I do like the detail on this shield better, you know? It's not, I mean, it's just a smile detail, but it makes it what it is. I mean, it makes it special. It makes the look of Ocarina of Time healing shield, you know? So what else? You can see differences here too. Here. And below here too. Right? And it is lacking this part too. This part. It's not present there. Alright. So the healing shield, honestly, look at this shield. I mean, when you first see it's the package of Ocarina of Time, you see this design of the shield, right? It looks very cool. But when you try to look for the shield, right? Look at that. I mean, it's not the same, right? It's not the same shield that I remember, right? And I don't like it. I don't like what we are losing here. The sword too. The design is different. And most important of all of this, the upside down triangle, golden triangle. That that's like a very important part of Ocarina of Time Hylian Shield. Look, I mean, I feel disappointed. I feel really disappointed, you know, because this is the Hylian Shield that I grew up watching Link using, you know? And I do have love for this design and the iconic look that Link has with it, you know? And it is disappointing if Link is going to use the Breath of the Wild's shield, you know? I don't want to see this shield. I'm honestly don't want to see Link use that shield and that design. It's not that I hate it, but I want to see the shield that I grew up watching Link using. And that's the shield, right? Healing shield look. Now the Master Sword is different too. Here below we can see the different parts of a sword, an actual sword. This part is called the grip. The grip is different. can see, it makes the look change too. And this part that is called probably cross guard, rain guard, cross guard. So cross guard is different too. It is a more simple design on the ocarinas, but that's a very iconic look, and that's the Ocarina of Time identity. It was actually, I mean, it is exactly how they portray the Master Sword on the logo of Ocarina of Time. I mean, the thing is about the weapons is that they are on the logo. On different logos, Twilight Princess, Wind Waker. I don't think the sword is in the logo. I mean, the fused shadow is the logo of Twilight Princess, right? And the Wind Waker, it is the red Lion King on the logo, but on Ocarina of Time, it is the Master Sword and the Healing Shield, and that made it iconic. It was so iconic back on the day that I used to think as a kid that it was going to the sword and the shield, it was going to be the logo of all the following Zelda games. So it was so iconic, and it was so iconic that even on the collector's edition, it is the same Master Sword render. So the Master Sword, this is Ocarina of Time's Master Sword. If you see this, you are going to think about Ocarina of Time. And if you put these together, you get Ocarina of Time Link. With the look, the proper look of the Healing Shield, and the proper Master Sword design. That's how we grew up watching Link. And his iconic weapons. Yeah. It is the same sword design. Right? Look, it's the same. So I think Nintendo is making a mistake there if they don't actually make the original design. I think I really hope that, you know, it was just a time issue, that they did it just because they didn't have the time to make the design. So I really hope Nintendo actually replicates the design of the original design of the Hylian shield and the Master Sword. So yeah, that's what I wanted to talk about. I think Nintendo needs to acknowledge this and give Ocarina of Time its true identity, because it will be very disappointing if Link is going to use this shield. I mean, Breath of the Wild shield. Come on. I want to see the real Hylian shield of Ocarina of Time. And the sword too. This. Not this. There was something else that I wanted to talk about. And that was, if you are going to change the Master Sword look, there was some detail that I wanted to talk about, that I hope Nintendo would take into account here. Hold on. While we wait, what I'm going to talk about is how the sword looks when it is put away. So you guys see on Soul Calibur 2, there is a developers of the original Ocarina of Time work on Soul Calibur 2. So I highly respect the design and choices made to that link. And there's something that I noticed about Link on Soul Calibur 2. And that is how the Master Sword is sheeted. So this part that wait. This part of the sword, you know how the Master Sword has this thing? Hold on. Has this design here, and then the blade becomes like this. So that part below here, it's called the ricasso. That part is not sharpened. It's not sharpened. It's a part of the blade that is not sharpened. So it would make sense that it doesn't need to be sheeted. So on Soul Calibur 2, Link doesn't actually sheet. Sorry, Link actually Link actually doesn't cheat. What? Wait, how is it pronounced? Link doesn't put away the sword like all the way. You know, he just he just sh- it, I mean, he just puts away like this. So this part is not cheated. Okay. And that's what I wanted to say to. I mean, I wished the developers would replicate this on the remake, because these are the small details that makes the, I don't know, it would look very cool. So I think that's all I wanted to say to you guys. I mean, I could say a lot of things about the remake and stuff, but I already took a lot of time just talking about the logo decisions. And yeah. So those are my thoughts so far that I wanted to share, because I really think it's important. So thanks for watching, guys, and see you on the next one.